This is Connections, how to train your brain to draw out knowledge when you're stuck. So often on a test, we'll see a term or a concept and we blank. And so what this does is helps you practice that ahead of time. So you're going to create test practice by selecting terms you feel less confident about to draw connections out from. So if you went through the effective and efficient study guide, then you went ahead and already made a list of terms that you feel less confident about. So this is what you could plug and chug into Connections. So what you want to do is start off with a term. So a term I've noticed students have been struggling with in IB history is Henry Cabot Lodge. And what we want to do is be able to ask ourselves questions just like our teacher does to draw out answers to at least maybe not figure out everything about him, but some semblance of what we know. So what we're going to do is we're going to ask questions. Now, how do I know what type of question to ask? Well, in history, we know that we focus a lot on leaders and people who have roles. So he must have some kind of role because this is history. So I'm going to look at my list of questions and ask myself, what role does he play? Well, I know for sure he's not a president. So I'm going to go with senator. Another thing you know about senators and politicians is they tend to belong to parties. So I would ask myself, what party? And then what you're going to go ahead and do is remember that he is a Republican. Then how can you build further off of this? Well, usually when there are parties, there's opposition. So what you would want to do is ask, who does he oppose? And this is going to help build historical context in time. We know what we're studying around World War I. And so who is the big leader and not a Republican at this time? Woodrow Wilson. And then what you could do to further this knowledge is to really see how is he significant. You could ask yourself, why does he oppose Woodrow Wilson? And then that helps you remember it was something about the Treaty of Versailles, something about the League of Nations. And then maybe once you build these connections, it really sparks and then it helps you remember that he was a reservationist who led the opposition to the the ratification of the Treaty of Versailles. So even if you don't make it to this point, you've at least built some context, which will help you narrow down what answers to include on your test.